Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Umbras, and today we are back in Enthusia Professional Racing, where we get to drive a whole bunch of high-end sports cars from around the world, in various tracks, in various conditions, as we work towards getting every single vehicle in the game up to level 10. Right now we have the Blobeye Impreza here, the first of the facelifts and the second design of the GD chassis Impreza. This one is the Japanese version of the Impreza STI, which has a 2-liter Boxer 4, the EJ 2.0, instead of the larger 2.5-liter engine that the American STI got. Still similar-ish horsepower, a little bit lower than the American version, but still very, very nice. And it is going to be a pleasure to race with us today. So let's dive in. Let's see what we can do. We got a one make race on low end steering, which is an option. We got a Tsukuba circuit challenge, which will really benefit the STI's forward drive. We got a wet Tsukuba circuit race with all the Imprezas. Honestly, that might not be a bad way to start. Ooh, okay. We even got the limited version there as well. Those ones are the earlier Bug-Eye Imprezas. This is the Blobeye, and then we have a couple of GC Imprezas too. So I think we should dive in. This is gonna be really, really fun. Now the Blobeye, actually the facelift was designed by one of the designers of the McLaren F1, Peter Stevens, who had previously also worked with Subaru on the design of the GC Impreza, especially the 22B version. And this was designed as the round eye or the bug eye Imprezas from 2000 to 2002 were deemed as too cutesy to be a rally car. They didn't quite look rugged enough, so they did adjust it to look a little bit. And honestly, it looks pretty good. It's probably my favorite of the facelifts, better than the Hawkeye even. I'm not a big fan of the fighter jet inspired front end of the Hawkeye. It is snowing, oh my gosh. That is crazy, man. Very, very, hopefully you stay warm and everything. You get some nice hot cocoa, some nice warm soup or something like that, Holy moly. It's so weird, like, talking to people, south of the equator and everything, because, like, here in Maryland, I got above 90 degrees Fahrenheit. I got above, like, over 30, well over 30 C today for the first time this year. It is, summer months. The summer solstice for us is only 9 days away, so, we're looking forward to that. I think it's summer solstice, right? I'm trying to remember. At the very least, the transition from spring to summer is like 9 days away or something like that. I have all the stoves on. Alright, make sure you, are those gas stoves or are they electric stoves? Because if they're gas stoves, do make sure in these winter months that you are also testing your carbon monoxide detectors as well. Or if you don't have them, make sure you get them. Carbon monoxide is no joke. Does not have an odor, and it is a silent poison that isn't easily detected just with your own senses. I don't mean to cause alarm or anything like that, but do make sure you have, that type of stuff. Make sure your smoke detectors are all, operational. Make sure you test them. If it's been a while, replace the battery even before the battery is dead, just to make sure, they don't, they don't fail on you or anything like that. If your fire department has like a smoke detector testing service as well, maybe see if you can't schedule something like that. Might be worthwhile. I know, especially once you're getting into the winter months, things get colder and everything. You're turning on all the electronics, all the heating equipment to heat your home and everything that hasn't been used in a little while. It's probably a good idea to make sure you have all of that tested and everything, if you can. Holy moly. We are actually having a massive victory here. Huge gap to second place. The Blobeye really coming into its own. The EJ205 engine absolutely singing with the upgrades that we put into it, with the level increases, the added grip with the grippier tires, the more maneuverability with the reduction in weight, just able to absolutely tear through the Titan Tentacle Super Circuit, even do a little bit of rally racing there as we go off course. Whoopsie daisy. One other thing they adjusted with the Blobeye. Oh yeah, I did see the drawing, the Battle Machine Monocolor. It looks great. Honestly, if you want to do like another one like that, but put in like the massive blow and huge drag hooks in the rear, to kind of turn into like a Pro Street style drag car, that'd be super cool too. Or that like a massive cowl induction hood that was like really popular during the time period. You know, get to test how you know, practice drawing like the same vehicle with like different modifications and stuff. Could be a cool like option. It looks good. It looks good. He's really gotten better at drawing. Oh, a little bit of a slide there. One other cool thing about the GD era Impreza is that during the Hawkeye, well, kind of during the transitional phase between the Blobeye and the Hawkeye, 05 and 06, there was actually a Saab that was a rebadged Subaru Impreza. It was the 9-2X, and that was colloquially known as the Sabaru. Now, unfortunately, the 9-2X didn't get the engine from the STI. It only got the engine from the WRX or the base Impreza, depending if you want the regular 9-2X or the Aero version. Which, in my opinion, is a little bit of a missed opportunity. You know, being able to create, you know, a high performance, even if it is a badge engineer, a high performance, you know, four-wheel drive, you know, European sport wagon for a lot of like the Nordic countries in the snow and everything. I think, you know, it would have been somewhat popular. The Chevy Monocolor is drawing as a drag car, probably, yes. Ooh, nice. Look forward to that then. But yeah, it's funny because it was kind of marketed more as kind of like an upmarket, you know, more slightly more luxurious Subaru Impreza. But nowadays on the used car listings, despite being a bit rarer, because it doesn't quite have the nameplate of the Impreza, WRX, or the STI, it's actually a little bit cheaper. Going for around up to around like $30,000 for really high quality used models, whereas the Impreza STIs of that time period of, you know, fetch $50,000 or $60,000 in high quality trim, you know, trim and condition. There we go. Very nice. Alright, good. Our ranking is increasing ever still. Uh-oh. Nice. I got one more race probably in the Impreza before we switch to another vehicle. We do have an Nürburgring Enduro. That is an option. We do have the top rally car race. Let's do the race Victoria Road. The TC and SC race. Alright, let's do this. The other cool thing about the Impreza, the GD Impreza, is that it had a driver-controlled center differential. which, if you're not familiar with what that is, it's, the acronym for that is DCCD. And what that was it was a knob or a dial, either on the steering or on a dash, that essentially allowed drivers to either have the center differential automatically adjust the torque split between the front and the rear wheels, or if you switch it to manual mode, it would allow them to adjust the torque split manually and switch it on the fly as the car was driving through the use of various wet clutches and electronics and all of that stuff. And what that would do is, okay, you could go anywhere from 50-50 front and rear torque distribution for slippery surfaces, snow, gravel, all that stuff, to all the way up to, I believe, a 30-70 front-rear torque split, which is more so designed for high grip tarmac road racing, you know, regular driving as well, because it uses a little bit less fuel as well. You know, get that little bit more of that acceleration. Mitsubishi with the Lancer Evos, they did also have variable torque splits, but that one was not driver control. That one was purely automatic and electronic with their active yaw control, or AYC, that automatically adjusted the torque splits based on how much the vehicle was sliding and how much it detected wheel slippage. So both of the the top rally car manufacturers at the time had either the special electronically controlled center differential that allowed that immediate change of the torque split. It's just the Impreza, the STIs, had a lot more driver control in how they adjusted the torque split, which allowed drivers essentially a higher degree of control and also allowed them to anticipate surface changes rather than the computer reacting to them, which is both a blessing and a curse. As on one hand, it does require a higher amount of driver control and driver skill to properly anticipate what the torque split would be needed, but on the other hand, again, could result in more efficient and better adjustments of said torque split, especially in mixed conditions, which is really, really cool. Outside of rally racing, the Subaru Impreza also competed in the Japanese Grand Touring Championship, as well as when it changed over to Super GT in the GT 300 class with Team Cuzco. And while the GD Impreza did struggle a little bit, despite having its all-wheel drive system, its added weight complexity and lack of reliability, as well as its less efficient aerodynamics, being a four-door sedan and a more boxy shape compared to the two-door sports coupes that it was up against, it did still have very strong showings, especially in the, I believe it was the 2008 round at the Sepang circuit, where the highly abrasive and lower grip surface and high propensity for wet weather did favor the four-wheel drive system of the Subarus for the better tire conservation, as well as also the better grip in lower traction scenarios. So they did actually manage to do somewhat decently in niche races, though considerably less back in its home country in Japan. Whoa! Alright, there we go. There we go. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Keep pushing. Alright, got one more lap coming up. Let's see if we can do this. Easy. Easy. There we go, there we go. Get a little bit of sliding going. Kind of a shame though, despite the Subaru having the DC-CD, no actual racing game, to my knowledge, actually lets you actively control the center differential while you're driving it. If I'm wrong, please correct me, because I would love to try out it in a racing game, trying to manage the center differential as well. But to my knowledge, it is either something you adjust in vehicle settings itself, and it stays like that for the full race, or it's something that you can't even change at all. It's not something that you can, like for example in Enthusia Professional Racing, the game we're playing here, you can't adjust the torque split. Despite the fact that even on the stock version of the car, you very much would be able to. Does make me wonder then what the default torque split is for a vehicle like the Impreza in these games. Probably 3070, given the propensity for track racing compared to the limited off-road racing. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Only a couple corners left, and then we will be finishing up our upgrade path of the Impreza. So let's absolutely send it. Here we go. Boom, shakalaka, across the line. Ah, very nice. Alright. Give us the upgrades, give us the ranking points, give us all of that. Nice. Alright, our ranking increased a little bit. It is going to decrease when we switch to our next vehicle. So it's going to be a little bit unfortunate with that, but we'll still be able to compete in rank RS races, which is good. Alright, let's see what real sports vehicles we have. I think we'll have two options here. Yes, the V12 Vanquish and the Mazda FCRX7. So let's go pull up our random number generator. Bloodwolf, welcome. Hope you're well. Let's get the random number generator up. And let's get the display capture. There we go. If it is a 1, we get the Aston. If it is a 2, we get the rotary. It is a 2. Alright, going strong with the Japanese imports then. Alright, let's do this. We got three colors here. We got crystal white, brilliant black, and shade green. Kind of like it in crystal white. Kind of has that initial D vibes as well. So that'd be nice. That is like another 40-hour work. Oh, jeez. That is rough, man. That is absolutely rough. I'm sorry to hear that. Alright, let's get some adjustments for this. Alright. And a little bit more turn-in. I do want some more rear camber though, just so if it does start to slide, we'll be able to capture it. Alright, we do have a locking rear differential as well. This is the Infini version. I believe it's the Infini 1 version, which does have some TGT is right in my double night. Oh gosh, my dude, that is rough. That is absolutely rough. Ooh. But yeah, I think this is the Infini 1, not the Infini 3. Now the Infini has a an adjusted 13BT engine that has more power as well as other weight reduction features, alloy wheels, and some interior upgrades as well. And the cool thing about the rotary cars is because the engines rev so smooth, certain models do have actually a warning, and you hear it here as well when we get to certain sections. Yeah, that beep, that is the warning telling us that we need to get this shift soon, because what would happen is, because the engines rev so smooth, it is very difficult to determine the RPM by ear alone unless you're very experienced with them. So I probably wake up around the time to serve lunch. Oh gosh. Good luck, man. I won't be in the next TGT race. I will be away. So I'll be able to avoid the chaos at Red Bull Ring. I know it is going to be a mess. I will gladly do the Nordschleife if I get to avoid Red Bull Ring. I say that I'm not particularly fond of Nordschleife either, but you know what? I had my 2 strong races this season at tracks I like, Suzuka and Indy, so I'll take the suck. I will embrace the suck. What is the other one? I know we got Red Bull Ring and I know we got Nordschleife next. What's the other TGT race left? I'm trying to remember. My mind is blanking just ever so slightly. Ah, Spa. Lovely. Alright. I mean, on the bright side, there's a chance I can get redemption there after disastrous. I wouldn't even call it disastrous. I managed to recover pretty well from dead last to literally P8 out of, you know, 20-some people after getting wrecked out literally on the first lap and having to limp my car back to the pits for 4 minutes of repairs. So, you know, being able to come back from that, being, you know, multiple laps down, to being at the then finishing 8th, I will take that. I will gladly take that. But even still, I want a redemption at Spa. I want a redemption at Spa. Speaking of Red Bull Ring, I'm absolutely terrified for the race coming up in 2 days at the Red Bull Ring for V-Track. That I'm not feeling confident in. Like, I know I'm doing decently, I'm running like D2 times, but because of how short the track is and how few corners actually is, the difference between like the aliens and like even like the slower people, there isn't nearly as big of a difference. It's very easy to get close. So it's one of those things where I am genuinely terrified because there's so many dive bomb spots as well. Turn 1, turn 3, turn 4 that just become just absolute messes. And as someone whose last V-Track race at Red Bull Ring was genuinely a disaster, where I went from 6th to 22nd in the first lap because I literally got dive bombed 5 different times and ran off course 5 different times. I'm not looking forward to it. But it'll be what it'll be. I have to do it because I'm missing a different race through prior appointments and everything, and I'm not going to miss more than one. Because we're going to get one trap round. So, we gotta make do with what we make do with. Although I'm a little bit sore that I'm missing Laguna, as that is one of my favorite tracks in ACC. Definitely top 5. Definitely top 5, alongside Valencia, Kyalami, Misano, and probably Dunnington Park, maybe. I don't know, they kind of rotates a little bit. There's a couple key ones, and then the final 2 are kind of like, I really like this, but I also really like this too. Indy's up there as well. I genuinely like racing at Indy. They need a redemption at Red Bull Ring too. For real. That's one where you can do everything right and you could still have a terrible race just because of it is essentially like it's like Monza, you know. There's just so much chaos there. And I absolutely kind of hate it. But 'tis what 'tis. Oh, this thing is nice though. Ooh, let's see. The R12 is giving even more feedback and everything. Very, very nice. Very good. Beep, 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 beep. I like the little, the warning chime, the warning buzzer when you get above that 7,000 RPM. That's actually kind of cute. It's like the AE86's speed chime that plays in certain racing games when you go above a certain speed. I think it's above like 80 miles an hour or whatever. It's like, nope, you're going too fast. Buddy, I'm scared. Like, nah, we're having fun. It's basically explosive the car telling you, hey, you shouldn't do that, but I'm not going to immediately stop you. Which is fun. Alright, yeah, the Viper absolutely put the smackdown on us. We got a solid second place here at Bergenschloss. So I will take that. Nice. Ooh. This is a beautiful. Oh, we didn't get any upgrades. I'm doing fast lap times against nice. What kind of times you running at Red Bull Ring, if I may ask? .3 on. Oh, that's pretty good actually. I think I gotta double check that. 30 flat at the moment. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's about what Kaito's doing in preparation for V-Trek, so. I got another real sports car race. We also have the Arc de Triomphe anniversary, which maybe we need some upgrades first. So let's do the real sports car race. Never mind, we're gonna get absolutely blown out of the water for the real sports car race. Alright, let's see here. Versus the Evo. That's not bad actually. Let's do it. Let's do it. The Evo 3 has a little bit more of a power advantage than us. But we are lightweight, we are agile. We can do this. Nice. I'm currently doing low 29s in preparation for V-Track, but Omet's in the mid 28s, so I'm gonna do my best as a teammate then and see if I can't support her during the opening laps, and just be ready in case any other of the front runners make mistakes. If I can capitalize on that and then run defensive for her. That way, if I can't be, you know, the highest scoring member of the team, I'll at least help the rest of the teammates score high on the race. Okay, let's move now. Got a little bit of a gap. We're literally living out our initiality fantasies right now. We got our very own Infiniti RX-7, the FC, in white, like one of the red sons of Akagi. Although this is a very different mount than Akagi. How can you not dive me as I'm making a turn? There, I dive you back. What makes you now, huh? What do you say now? Ow. Okay, semi-wide, won't you? Boop. Move you out of the way. All right, we gotta stop. We gotta stop having collisions. We gotta extend our gap now. We gotta massively extend our gap. So we gotta be just a little bit careful. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Easy dab of the brakes. Ooh, third gear. Alright, we're doing good. We're doing good. We're doing less good. Let's try not to keep touching the walls, please. We're already limited by the amount of distance we're going. So we need to make sure we at least get some points so we can upgrade our vehicle. Alright, now to the tight hairpins. The Evo will be able to get better acceleration out of it, but we can get a little bit of a slide going through them. There we go. This is a pretty even matchup, though, all things considered. Alright, not too many corners left. Essentially 4 more braking zones. 3 now. 2 now. Alright, big drop off. Oh, you can see the city glistening and gleaming down below. Alright, we're doing good, we're doing good. Big push. Oh, there's a crowd taking pictures. That is a second gear corner, not a third gear corner, Isaac. And there is the finish line. Alright. Actually, I just looked at my notes for this. This actually is the Infinity 3, as this is the one that has the highest horsepower, the 212 horsepower. So my apologies. This is actually the later 1990 Infinity 3 model. So it's a 90s car instead of the 80s car. Although granted, the very, very early days of the early of the 90s. There's gonna be a shit show too. Kind of. Just gotta avoid the track limits to prevent people from killing you in the lap 1, and you're fine. Too many people will push too hard, and you end up essentially being able to beat them once they get drive-throughs and everything. Now the Infinity 3 has got 0 to 60 around 6.5 seconds, and around top speed around 150 miles an hour for the turbo models. Absolutely beautiful, low center of gravity, independent front and rear suspension. Absolutely beautiful machine. Yeah, no one is gonna touch you on the straights. So sector 2, you should be absolutely fine. Alright, ooh, alright. The Viper is running wide, let's get past the Jaguar. Alright, let's chase down the Subaru. A GD Impreza, not entirely unlike what we drove previously, although that one, I believe, is the Blobeye Impreza. 270 plus. Yeah, I'm a little bit sad I'm gonna miss Coda. I've literally only ever done one race in the entirety of my time at track, and I'm missing out on the chance to do that. Although I do get to go to the Watkins Glen 6-hour race, so you know what? I'm more than happy to do that. I get to miss Red Bull Ring, and I get to go to Watkins Glen, so I mean that is worth, unfortunately, having to miss Coda. Oh, Viper was quick through Flugplatz. We got a little bit of understeer. Come on, get it back on track. Get it back on track. Alright, give me the suck from the Impreza. Come on, 2 engines that were essentially designed for handling lightweight design, maneuverability, and a low center of gravity. Oh gosh. Okay, we managed to save it. It just did not want to turn there. I took that a little too fast. I think I probably should try to get a little bit more rotation to that corner. Okay, down the gears. There we go. Down another. Keep it smooth, keep it steady, keep it smooth, keep it steady. There we go. There we go. Back to the right. We're keeping pace with the Impreza. We lost a little bit of time to them, but we are right there with it. Come on. Ooh, okay. A little bit of a slide going there. Alright, I want to brake just shortly after the sign. Gotta remember there's a lot less reference markers in this version of the course in this game. So you do need to be a little bit careful. The Viper is right up there with us as well, which isn't good. That is not pleasant. The Viper is literally just raining on our parade every single event it's in. Come on. Alright, brake just before the access road. There we go. Brake at the sign, back down in the third gear. Alright, we got some power sections now. This is where the Viper really comes into its own, and where we are going to be struggling a little bit in comparison to them. Gonna be a little bit tricky. You want to brake just before the green sign there. Carry some speed out of the corner. And we want to use up all the RPMs. As the rotary loves being revved high. Come on. We're actually holding a Viper at bay for just a little bit. But once we get onto the dotting row, we're gonna be struggling just a wee bit. I don't know if we'll be able to keep the Viper behind. It is a pure straight there. Ooh, that could be a cool thing to do. You know, give her, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Not retrofitted. You know, the rebuilt R9. What is the actual term? It's not rebuilt. Oh well, rebuilt's close enough. R9. Refurbished, yes. My mind was blanking just a little bit. I'm like, what was the word? It's been a long day at work. I was up even earlier. I had to get some testing done. Just general post-surgery testing and everything like that. It's been over a year since my you know, the surgery on my neck and everything, so they want to, you know, make sure everything's all healed up. They want to make sure there's no other markers, calcification, any abnormalities, anything like that. So I got the ultrasound done today. So I was up early for that. And my caffeine is beginning to wear off a little bit. I can feel it. I can feel a little bit of the mental fog. But I still vibe. I gotta be careful here. Alright, come on, let's get back up there with the Viper. Alright, we got YouTube corner coming up soon. But it looks like we may have to settle for the final step of the podium. as the AI doesn't usually make mistakes this late into the run. And even if we do get past them leading up to the dotting arrow, we will still be at the mercy of that V10 down the straightaway. I mean, it is a 90s Japanese sports car versus late 90s, early 2000s American supercar, essentially. So we do need to be a little bit careful. Although we were really quick in that section there. That's what the word complete. Yes, you did, but I still recognize what you said. So, all good. One of us had at least some of the brain cell, the rest was the so you had more of the brain cell that time around. I did not have any of the brain cell. Someone else had rented it out and I could not find it. Okay. This is where we're gonna struggle. You can already see it beginning to gain on us down the straight. I'm gonna see if I can't park my car in the middle of the road and make it try to see if it can't squeeze its way by. I'm not gonna actively block, but I am gonna defend. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, damn. Alright, reaching 155. 155 is where we're maxing out at. It's not too bad, actually. Oh, golly. Whoa, okay, a little too much curb there. There we go, across the line. Boom shakalaka. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Still a solid third place. I'll take it. Oh boy. Oh, no upgrades. Okay, we need to drive a little bit cleaner. The rear is stepping out a little bit, and we are struggling just a tad in the FC RX-7. Bit of a shame, as the RX-7, especially the SC, was absolutely was a dominant force in motorsports. In the IMSA series, it achieved well over 100 victories in the GTU and GTO championships, which is very, very impressive. Absolutely lovely machine. Alright, what do we got here? We have an RX-7 race at Pacific Gateway. We got a wet race at Tsukuba. Ooh, maybe. Let's do Pacific Gateway. Oh yes, okay. Got some SA22 RX-7s. We got the FC RX-7s. And we got an FD RX-7 as well. Alright, let's channel inner Ryosuke Takahashi. And let's push it to the limit. All the buzzy rotaries through the California these San Franciscan streets. There we go. Actually, didn't Ryosuke Takahashi in Initial D, wasn't his RX-7 also an Infinity 3? I don't know, it's expensive that'd be to send that stuff though. Yeah, I'd imagine shipping would be pretty pricey. You're looking at probably a couple $100 to ship it. Given the bulky nature of them, all of that and everything. Nanya, welcome. Hope you've been well. We just got done racing the Blobeye Impreza. Now we've moved on to the Infinity 3 FC RX-7. And of course, we have the initial D vibes with it in beautiful crystal white. Well, we're racing a bunch of other RX-7s on these Californian city streets. Yes, exactly, Ariosuke. Although unfortunately no body kit, so I can't, you know, get the later stage upgrades on the FC. It's got to deal with the earlier one without the GT wing and the front canards and everything. Yeah, that's gonna be, plus the additional weight from the packaging itself. You're probably gonna want a lot of like bubble wrap and everything, packing peanuts or something. Dang, the FD is absolutely wicked fast though. That's the same voice actor as Dio. You thought it was Dio, but it was me, the elder Takahashi brother. Oh gosh. Yeah, that FD is way too quick. Muda. Alright, we'll get the final hairpin marker. There we go, into the hairpin. Oh yeah, significantly more powerful. You're looking at around like 270, 276 horsepower versus 212 in the higher powered Infinity 3 FCs. But still, I want to try to put up as much of a fight as I can. One could hope. An FE RX-7. Yes, please. Would absolutely love it. Not that I didn't like the RX-8s, but the RX-7s just had that panache to them, you know? I mean, to be fair, most of the Japanese manufacturers kind of lied about performance figures. Like, the R34s were on, like, what, 330-ish when actually tested. I'd imagine the FD was probably closer to that, the gentleman's agreement power. Probably around, like, 290. Just because rotaries don't always make as much power. Yeah, the gentleman's agreement was the 276, but a lot of vehicles, especially the inline 6 duo of the Supra and the Skyline, had a bit more than that. Especially the Skyline. That was like 330 when actually tested. But they only market it as, nah, it's 276. I think the Supra was, what, like 310, 320? Oh, in the US, it's supposed to be 260. Interesting. To be fair, like, the US, we didn't really get, like, the top of the line FD RX-7s. Like, we never got, you know, the Spirit R's with the larger rear wings or anything like that. We kind of got the more standard the FD RX-7s, which was still very, very nice, but we didn't get like the ultra editions, which is a bit unfortunate because those were kick-ass. The multi-spoke BBS rims on that silver paint, I still absolutely love seeing the picture. Yeah, exactly. So we never officially got them sent to us, which is always unfortunate. Because those ones, holy moly. Like, the Spirit R is just... Like, I like the FDRX-7 in general, but the Spirit R is just, like, absolute nuts. The bright red Recaro seats, the BBS rims and everything. Yeah, most of the top of line JDM cars. We never got Big Sag. Like the Sylvia K's. I've had the last Celica GT4. We didn't though, unfortunately. I wish we did. Alright, our ranking is decreasing a little bit. We gotta push a little bit harder. We do have some grippier tires now, which would be good. Got a rear wheel drive race. Yeah, this should be alright. This should be okay. We do have an S2010 with, but that one's only got around 250 horsepower. Get out of the old Ultrax powertrain. Alright, so let's do this. You know what's really cool as well is the Savannah name for the RX-7s was actually only exclusive to the Japanese models. To my knowledge, the rest of the world didn't actually get the Savannah name. It was just strictly the RX-7. Only Japan got the Savannah added, which is pretty cow. And the WRC Silicas are all left-hand drive anyway. Yeah, your left-hand drive, right. Yeah, it's just weird how a lot of Japanese manufacturers are just kind of hesitant to bring over the highest performance versions of vehicles into the States. Like, holy moly, they had some great stuff in the 90s and we just missed out on it. Like, bruh. That would have been cool as hell. Alright. We got a Skyline sedan ahead of us. And the S2000. Skyline sedan's doing very well for its weight. Yeah, the Spirit R. The NSX Type R as well. Oh, the R, the Mazda Speed RX-7s, yes. Those are gorgeous as well. I should try talking about that. I just said she didn't want me to do it. Yeah, maybe see how much it costs first. Get like a price check on that first. And then maybe see how much, you know. Even if she wants to compensate you like halfway or something for like the shipping, if that makes it seem more fair in her eyes, could be a way to make it work. Yeah, the Bathurst version, the SPRX7 in the Bathurst. Was it Bathurst orange or Bathurst yellow? I'm trying to remember the exact color name. But that bright yellow as well was absolutely gorgeous. Alright, come on, we need to catch up to the rest, to the front runners. About 2 seconds back. Yellow, okay, so it's like Bathurst yellow and Bathurst red. Got it. Now, to be fair, that yellow is more of like an orange yellow than like strictly yellow. Like it was definitely kind of like a deeper, almost sunset yellow orange kind of color. It looked nice though. I absolutely adore that color. Ooh, all right, they got a little bit bent out of shape there. Whoa! Okay. Alright, we're good. Alright, come on, let's absolutely push. Whoa! Hey, don't die me there. This is not a corner you try to overtake on. Okay. Easy come, easy go. able to get the run out of the corner. Come on, can we make it to second? It'll be tough, but I know we can do it. Alright, get the cutback so you can get the momentum out of the corner. There we go, there we go. Maldonado, is that you? I mean, he's going for some risky dives, that's for sure. I'll be on the inside for the hairpin. There we go, there we go. Okay, we need to brake a little bit later then. Try to carry more momentum to the entry of the sweeper. We can hold them off through here. We'll be golden, because we're quicker than them through the rest of the track. And with them out of the way, we can now focus on the Skyline, which has more power, but also significantly more weight as well, with it being a four-door sedan. So it'll be interesting to see how and where we're able to build up our catch them back up, and if we can build a gap to them, if we can get by them. We're essentially gonna have, at the end of this lap, one more laps left. There you go. Take a defensive line there. Compromise your exit speed. There we go. Alright, we're right up there on them. Although that V6 does have some grunt, though. That VQ engine does have some pretty solid power. Come on. There we go. Alright, there's a little love tap. A little bit of a buddy bump. Let him know we're here. He's gonna be hard to defend against on that back straight, as he's got a basically about 30 extra horsepower compared to the S2000. So that is gonna make things just a little bit tricky for us. Alright, come on. Get the inside for the hairpin. Be ready. There we go. Get the better exit. Run out wide to close off their attack. Okay. Alright, alright, alright. No! Oh, that was so close. I thought I was able to hang it around the outside, and we almost did it. Oh, Bravo, GG to the Skyline sedan. Holy moly, that was a great fight to the end there. I'd add maybe one more lap, I probably would have made it stick. Yeah, a lot more torque as well. They would get that grunt out of the corners. Our ranking is still decreasing. That's not good. That's not good, chat. Versus Ruby Run. I'm still very annoyed with the driver of the NSX there. I'm not happy about that. Doubly so since they rejoined unsafely early in the race against another one of my teammates. I'm a little. They got some bad blood with me, shall we say? But it is what it is. It is what it is. Oh well. It was a good fight between those two. And honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing how the three of them, Ruby, Omet, and Midnight Hurricane, all fight at the Red Bull Ring. I'll probably be the best of the rest just off the podium if I don't get fucked over. But, yeah, that was... Or if they make mistakes like getting too many track limits and have to get a drive-through, I might be able to then snag a podium. But on pace right now, I've been talking to the three of them, and all three of them are running in mid to high 28, and I'm stuck in the low 29s, so... Unless something major happens, I might be the best of the rest. Oh, I gotta get to the one guy, TGT, punt me into next week. Oh, number 32? Was that the one? The one that got 9 penalty points in a single... I shouldn't be mean, but jeez. That was terrible. Drawing the broken bridge gonna be like a... Ooh, doing some architectural drawings. Very nice, man. Got expanding your repertoire. Expanding your repertoire. Very nice. Very, very nice. If I got an FD, how would I build it? I hope it was what I have. Believe it or not, I probably... I probably wouldn't have like a crazy build. I've driven friends' vehicles that have, you know, built like, you know, the crazy powerful vehicles. And while they're fun, like kind of initially and everything, I would genuinely kind of hate to drive them like long term and maintain them long term. Like the amount of work I've had to do for like other friends' vehicles and everything. I'm not too sure I would fully want that. So what I do, if I got an FD, yeah, I'd probably do like a kind of an updated Street Plus build. I'd probably swap out the twin turbo for a more modern single turbo with a bit of increased boost. Swap out the graphite apex seals to carbon ceramic apex seals. Well, not carbon ceramic, sorry, regular ceramic apex seals for better durability and the ability to handle the increased boost. Revise exhaust system. Revise porting on the rotary. Some updated electronics. Increase the fuel, the upgrade to the fuel system. And then the rest of that I'd focus on like handling stuff, you know, better brakes, better suspension, roll bars, some light weight reduction here and there. I'd probably keep the body mostly stock, except for like maybe some nice multi-spoke BBS rims. But I don't know, a lot of body kits for RX-7s. I'm not the biggest fan of them. I kind of like the original body lines of the FD. Ooh, Vapid dominating Unlimited City. Very nice. Best of luck, man. So salty about the TGT race. No, understandably so. If you got absolutely murdered, yeah, give no quarter. The 6-speed conversion. Yeah, I might consider that as well, depending on the gear ratios and everything. I'm trying to remember, did every FD come with a limited slip rear differential? Or was it only certain models that came with a limited slip? Okay, they all came with a limited slip, so I won't have to worry about that. I'll probably upgrade the clutch as well. Have like a stage 1 or like a stage 2 clutch. You know, kind of a Street Plus build. Probably tune it to try to get it to around like 400-ish horsepower. Maybe slightly more than that. But like nothing more. Like I still want it to be able to run pump gas. Ah, okay. If they were rudimentary, maybe an aftermarket limited slip differential as well, just for better traction and maneuverability. Turn into a time attack car. Hmm. I don't know. I feel like I'd want mine to be, you know, something that I can enjoy driving regularly for like even longer distances, for like, you know, like a vacation and stuff like that. Ooh, you could swap that over. Nice, 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 nice. I can remember that then. Oh yeah, for a time attack car, they are very, very nice as well. You know, because they're super lightweight and you can make some decent power with the rotaries. Even when you're not swapping in other engines. Yeah, I know here in the States we have the, in NASA, we have a spec RX-7. But granted, that's the, I believe that's the SA-22. SA-22 Mazda RX-7, so the first gen that they raised. But it's still really cool to see those. Yeah, if I do any upgrades to the body or whatever, it'd be the JDM rear wing. The larger JDM, like Spirit R style wing. And like maybe like a Mazda Speed like front splitter or something would probably be like my go-to. Fully built time attack RX-7 for so months ago. Oh my gosh, I'd be terrified to drive on the streets though. Like you have to be like super cautious, just because it's basically designed for like pure track use. And you're trying to drive it at like, you know, 30 miles an hour. The engine would be screaming at you, I wanna go fast! There we go, that's a much better run. That is a much, much better run. Alright, next race. Ooh. 57,000. That is a lot. That is more than I can afford right now. JPM Max is a modest speed body kits are really smooth too. Yeah, I think maybe if I did do like an aftermarket body kit, it'd be something like a Mazda Speed kit. Like, I know everyone really likes like the Veilside kits, and I like the Veilside kits for other vehicles, like the MRS. But like, I don't know. The FD isn't really conducive to wide body kits, I think. I think it kind of ruins the flow of the body with like the wider, you know, fenders and everything. I personally don't like it. I kind of like it keeping them narrow body. 50 horsepower. That is terrifying. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think I'm not even the biggest fan of those. And I usually like the Ray Memiya kits. But it's just, I don't know. I'm weird. Like most vehicles, yeah, wide body is cool. But I don't, the FD is just so, I don't know, it's just a beautiful car. I like the FC too. And the SA-22 as well. But like, I wouldn't mind getting some like wider fenders for like the FC, and especially the SA-22 would look cool as hell. Oh, the Ray Memiya Asparage Ring GT300. Ironically, that one also won at one of the Sepang rounds in the GT200 class. Oh, that is a beautiful car. That is a beautiful machine. I say the random ones. Vaguely. I'm not as up to date on the motorsport scene in the 70s, what that was like as much. Outside of like F1 and domestic stuff, like Can-Am and all that. My foreign motorsports of the 70s is ever so slightly patchy. And I need to reread back up on that type of stuff. Oh, a little bit of a tap there. Yeah, the Cusco Impreza. Oh, you're talking about the newer, the BRZ. Because the BRZ GT300 also looks nice. FARX7. FARX7? Oh, like the SA22. Yeah, the SA22 essentially. Yeah. Essentially the first generation of the RX-7s. Those are nice. I always like watching the Spec RX-7 series. They're pretty popular in the Mid-Atlantic. So when NASA goes to, like, you know, Summit Point or like the Jersey Motorsports Park, sometimes I like to watch some of the racing there. I like the Spec series. Those are always really cool. And the BRZ, yeah, that looks nice too. The wide body on that, absolutely beautiful. Holy moly, we are actually significantly ahead. Yeah. The SA22. The 935 achievement. Oh, with the headlights moved in lower in the wide body, the long tail. Oh, nice. That is beautiful. Oh, the head gaskets on the boxer engines. From what I've heard, since the BRZs aren't running boost stock, the head gaskets aren't nearly as frequent to fail. So you can usually get away with kind of dealing them and everything without as much issues. They are still a component that's a pain in the ass to replace. But yeah. Le Mans in 82. I have to look that up after the stream then. The 254i. Interesting. I know Mazda raced the FC and the FD really extensively in IMSA. And so they actually did really well. Like the RX-7 total got around like 100 total victories in the GTU and the GTO classes combined. Which is a BRZ go for? You're talking new, current generation, or buying used? Because that number will vary quite a bit depending on that answer. Current gen, new, yeah, like 35, maybe 40k, depending on dealer markup and options. At least here in Maryland. So it's more of a skill issue of the builder then. Which then caused the leaking. Right. And the extra kind of stress on the head gasket. I see. There we go. Oh my gosh, we're gonna end up lapping some. We're gonna end up lapping some of the drivers here. Let's go. Come on. Let's push this twin scroll turbocharger to the limits. Uh-oh. Okay. There we go. to keep that in mind then if I ever do a boxer build. I'm not nearly as knowledgeable about those. But I'll make sure to keep that in mind. Finicky engines. Yeah, I can imagine. So the money of a beer is I can get a mid-range AMG here in Europe. Pay 45, new gen goes for 40k-ish. Yeah, but you also, like, that is like top of the line BRZ. Like, the lower range ones are like 30-ish K. Let's go to the prominent shops. Yeah. Thankfully, Maryland has a decent boxer engine scene. Maryland and Pennsylvania. So there's some pretty reputable Subaru, Volkswagen, and Porsche engine builders here for like boxer engine upgrades and everything. Like there's one up in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. That's pretty popular. Is it Lancaster? It's somewhere in southern Pennsylvania. Like right along the Maryland-Pennsylvania border. I think it might be Lancaster. I gotta double check. I gotta double check that. Alright, 2 to go. There is another Japanese car that I'm looking at, but it's right here. Oh. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? Alright, here we go. 2 more vehicles to lap. Looks like 2 sedans. The Century. Ooh, you want to get the V12? Whoa, that's a big spin. They could not handle that. Alright, past the Skyline Coupe. Because, of course, the game has a Japanese version of the car and it's not the G35. I mean, it is a G35, but it's not the G35. Yeah, I'd imagine it's probably not the best on fuel, though. But holy moly. Beautiful V12 powered Japanese car. That's crazy. Yeah, it's the V35 instead, the Skyline Coupe. That's built on the same chassis platform as the 350Z. And I believe even uses the same engine too. Like 90% sure it's the same engine, the same VQ engine. It's just slightly heavier because of the more of the luxury equipment and everything in it. But it's like slightly heavier. Nice cars though. It's a shame that so many of them are clapped out. Possibly even not. I never even saw a chaser. I've seen 2 chasers. Both of them were kind of JDM specific car shows, kind of closer to the Baltimore area. They're nice though. One was this beautiful crystal white color, and the other one was a deep metallic black. Yeah, they're almost the same car. Very, very similar. Yeah, the sedan is very, very different. Although if you want a 350Z sedan, that's probably the closest you can get to it. Ooh. Yeah, let's do the Meister Trunk Cup. All right, we got some high performance vehicles here. We got the Jaguar S-Type R. We got the BMW Z4, and we got the TVR Tamura. Very nice. And the G37 looks pretty nice as well. And if I were to get one of those, I'm not sure if I'd put a body kit on it. I don't know, some vehicles look pretty good in their stock body configurations. And I'd probably go for the more like simple, you know, mechanical plus, you know, some nice, I actual real wheels. Yeah, imagine American scene with the high displacement engines and everything, with all of y'all's road taxes are very expensive to own. That's probably why also the Euro vehicles are so prevalent. The domestic vehicle is pretty cheap. And all of that. Yeah, maybe like a light lip spoiler or something, maybe. Depends on what's available. Just out of curiosity, did Nismo ever make any body parts for the G37? Be a bit of a missed opportunity if they didn't. Adachi, welcome. Hope you've been well. Sorry, I'm late. I was dealing with dinner. All good, man. All good. Glad you're here. Hope you've been well. Hope you've been well. Alright. We're on a break here, I believe. Whoa, way too much turning. Way too much turning. Alright, we got the Tamura rapidly catching us. We're gonna have the inside for the next corner. We are currently driving the lovely CRX-7, which admittedly is pretty down on power compared to the Tamura. But I don't care. We're still gonna give it the best fight we can. Oh, Nismo didn't. That's a bit disappointing. A bit of a missed opportunity, I think. You know, giving it some, you know, like a lip spoiler, some like, you know, subtle side skirts. But they did it for the Q30, or at least they corrected that mistake. With the Turbo V6, yeah. all the E46s. I mean, that's the perfect blend of being old enough to kind of be down on price, having, you know, the performance, credibility, the sheer number made, and still being somewhat new enough that, like, they aren't all rusted out and everything. Ah, the Q60, got it. I'm trying to remember what the Q30 was. Still, at least, you know, Nismo finally started touching the infinities. A little too late, but I got something at least. Whoa, okay. Gotta be careful. Alright. Let's get back up there with the TVR. Ah, that's why I don't remember it that much. I'm not big on SUVs and crossovers. Even if I become a family man and everything, I'm not too sure I'd even get one. I don't know if I'd even want that. The USA get the already RS6. Certain versions of them, yes. I don't think we've gotten every RS6, but we have gotten a few RS6s. Trying to remember what generations we've gotten. Can't remember off the top of my head. Alright, come on. Big push, just to make sure we can at least keep our second place. Let's not get caught up by the BMW catching us as well. Let's split the roadsters. We got all of them, okay. Was it the RS4 that we didn't get all of? I know we only got a select few of certain RS models. Yeah, the Audi V8s are nice, although some of them are a pain in the ass with the backwards design, with the timing chain in the rear, and the absolute mess of the timing chain system as well. That aspect I don't like. Doubly so the versions that have the plastic chain guides that have the death rattle. I think that was the B6 generation of the Audis. Jim Racing had the first gen RS6 in the Speedway shop. Ooh. How'd they end up doing with that? Oh, that looks so nice. Wide body and wing as well. Based. Oh yeah, the handled AMG V8s. Oh, those are glorious. I mean, I love my my AMG GT3 Evo. That is kind of my go-to GT3 car. So yeah. Ooh. So I had the air, I had the all-wheel drive. Very nice. Probably had a little bit of the extra weight though, but still managing to do some pretty good stuff with that even. It's impressive. Alright, two to go, big push, big push, big push. We're pulling away from the BMW at least. But the Tamura is pulling away from us. Yeah. It's just a nice machine. I love the V8 torque. I love the instantaneous naturally aspirated throttle response. I love how you're able to just hop the curbs and everything. Such a beautiful machine. Downside is I do gotta be very careful in the wet, especially early on in a race when you're trying to find your footing. You do not want to over push it in the wet. Speedway Challenge had a success balancing JGTC. Got it, I got it. So you wanted to kind of be good but not perfect, otherwise you got absolutely gimped later on in the series. Yeah. Although if rumors are correct, they're switching from the naturally aspirated to the twin turbo V8. Which I'm a little bit disappointed if that is true. I know the current naturally aspirated V8 is kind of dated in the GT3, being based off of the SLS's engine. But I love the NA throttle response. There's too few NA GT3 cars nowadays. Like, you got the Mustang, you got the Corvette, you've got the Porsche, and the Mercedes, and that's it. Aston, turbo. BMW, turbo. Ferrari, turbo. Okay, you had the Lamborghini as well, but Lamborghini is kind of scaling back their GT3 program. Same with Audi. So you're getting a lot of the turbo GT3s instead. Yeah, the M159. Look, I just love the NA, the larger displacement NA V8. I know it's more susceptible to higher temperatures. I know it doesn't have nearly as much top speed compared to the turbo V8s. But I love how competitive it is, especially on tighter technical tracks. Just very, very good there. That throttle response out of the corners. To be honest, the new Lamborghini GT3 is probably gonna have the turbo V. Yeah. I'm gonna miss the V10 sounds. I'm gonna miss the V10 sounds. Yeah. Big Sag. It's one more One more NA V8, one more NA engine going to the turbo side. I mean, technically they kind of already are, or pretty much on a, you know, a death clock. Audi's pulled out from GT Racing, which had the R8, and then Lamborghini switching to, you know, whatever the new one is. That's gonna be the end of them. It's a bit sad, honestly. Yeah, R8's is continued. Audi's pulling out from most motorsports except for F1. Which I'm really hoping that, as much as people hate the fact that they're doing that, I hope they're at least successful in it, because otherwise it would be completely for naught, and that would be very disappointing. The Temerario. Temerario. That'll be an interesting one to get used to the name for. Alright, Temerario. Temerario. Might the hypercut too. Audi might? I mean, if they already got the Lamborghini, you know, program that kind of base some of the data off of and everything. But when you have both Porsche and Lamborghini already in it, VW might say, maybe not. I don't know. You never know. The song did that. Oh, okay. All right, all right. Very nice. All right, no Viper, just the Corvette Z51. Ah, there we go. Some water. I'm very thirsty today. I apologize. Got a slight tickle in my throat. I hope I'm not getting sick again. I was sick last week. True, true. You are right in that aspect. Bit of a shame that Bentley isn't really a motorsport anymore. Having them create a prototype, the remnants of the Speed 8, would be absolutely cool. You wanted to further develop the hybrid stuff through the hybrid. Okay. Very nice. So they're not completely giving up other forms of motorsport yet. Thank goodness. Yeah, it's weird that Lamborghini is basically just kind of half-assing it just in IMSA. On one hand, it is nice to at least see them on home soil, you know, my home soil and everything. But on the other hand, yeah, seeing them just kind of go through the motions is kind of disappointing. Honestly, you might just have Audi take the reins over. Yeah, Ford is looking into it. Hyundai is confirmed. You get the new Aston Martin as well, which, oh my gosh, I get to hear for the first time in a while a V12 race car live. I haven't been able to say that since like 2017. So it's been a while. So that'll be really, really cool. Yeah, they're kind of doing like the test run, testing the logistics and strategy and everything before they go full investment in it, which is pretty cool. Well, speaking of Le Mans, Cadillac got 1-2 in Hyperpole. Let's go. Kilometers can't measure freedom. Happy V8 noises. Oh right, she's the one of the Iron Dames that hurt her foot, right? I'm trying to remember it. I'm bad with names. I think that was the one-eyed Dames girl that hurt her foot, which has been unfortunate. I hope I can get to see her at Imset Watkins Glen. That'd be pretty cool. Hypercar GTP LMDH is making it really attractive for manufacturers. In millimeters measures American power and precision. True. Fair. Ah! Having a full-on Porsche just crunch your foot. Hopefully she has a speedy recovery. Hopefully she has a speedy recovery. Ow. That is painful. That is absolutely painful. It reminds me of back in Abu Dhabi. Yeah, our firearms in millimeter, that is true. 5.56, 10 millimeters, 7.62. 45s though, 38s and 45s. Yeah, but that kind of reminds me of Abu Dhabi 2018, where Kimi Räikkönen accidentally. I mean, it wasn't his fault. He couldn't see. It was the rear tire changer. He was told he could go when the rear tire changer wasn't ready, and that tire changer ran over and essentially broke his leg, which is unfortunate. Ah, ripped the Corvette though. Hopefully they're at least able to bring it back with strategy and reliability. Also, Rene Rast is heading. Oh no! Damn, head injuries are no joke. Is he okay? Jeez, everyone's getting injured. Oh yeah. Hopefully he's better. Yeah, I know. Love to see, you know, the vets take at least the podium. If not the top step of the podium. If not, at least let the Mustangs pick up the slack too. Oh, the GTE cut. Yeah. He's still racing despite having the head injury. Jeez, okay. Alright. Bro's, committed, I'll give him that. Hopefully they're able to, you know, bring it back and everything. Maybe through strategy or weather, they might get some advantage. I've heard that the mid-engine vets are actually pretty solid in wet weather conditions. So maybe hope for a wet Le Mans. It's been wet the past couple years, so might be feasible. Oh, that was terrible. That was terrible there. The rear end just wanted to snap from me. Alright. Oh boy. Easy. Yeah, if it's a new car, I mean, GT World Challenge kind of has, you know, not necessarily, especially the GT America, it has a lot more like pro-ams and like silver drivers and everything, so they're considerably less experienced. But like in the hands of like actual pros, it's pretty, the vet is a pretty solid vehicle. Oh, this sounds so good. I love my rotary sounds. I just listen to that. Yeah. Pratt & Miller, owned by Oshkosh Trucks. The NG2 Challenge Trip is a silver entry. I think that's the same with the vet in G2 Challenge America. Yeah. Well, like I said, I know Pratt & Miller is owned by Oshkosh, which make, you know, the JLTV among other military trucks and everything. Worked on a few projects utilizing those trucks. I'm fairly familiar, more so with the fire trucks than anything else. The AARF. Absolutely stacks of class. Nice, very nice. Alright, we got some weight savings. Alright, yeah, ranking did decrease ever so slightly there. So let's see. I think I got time for probably 1 or 2 more races. My throat, I'm starting to lose my voice just a little bit. Ever so slightly. So let's do this. And we'll see. We'll either get this to level 10 or we'll do 2 more races. One or the other. Yeah, the Z01 is terrifying. It's what, like 2.50 to 60 in a rear-wheel drive car? Absolutely crazy launch control. Yeah, that might be due to like engine mapping or whatever. Being able to kind of, you know, run it leaner. In regular driving. And then up the boost pressure and run it richer and a more aggressive throttle response in, you know, split mode or like, you know, under heavy performance driving and everything. Yeah, because then you can adjust like the fuel timing and everything. Yeah. For more like lower RPM or higher RPM, different throttle openings and everything. Mentioned last ACC update, the C8R and the Aston Evo. Don't do that. Don't give me hope. I'm not ready for ACC to die yet. I don't want to make the switch to either LMU or iRacing yet. I miss the slower GT4 cars. I'm gonna miss the slower GT4 cars in ACC. And not having to pay out the ass for everything. Unlike iRacing. As well as, you know, having a radar. And an actual user interface that isn't dog water. You know, just iRacing things. I don't think Track ACC is gonna die anytime soon. I don't know, I've been in talks with Alex about it, and he's kind of been pushing LMU a bit more. Especially now that they're allowing custom liveries and everything. Which I got mixed feelings on. On one hand, you know, a change could be nice. On the other hand, I don't trust myself or a vast majority of people in prototypes. I know that's gonna come off as snobby. I know it's gonna come off as a little bit mean. But given certain propensities to just send it and then slam on the brakes in GT3 cars. They try that in a prototype. The prototypes are gonna lock up and they're just gonna collide into, you know, 40, you know, so many people. half the field is gonna die in turn 1 if it's a heavy braking zone. Power traffic got 2.2. Now was that on was that on like a drag strip or just kind of like a regular tarmac? Because that might affect things as well. Because the drag strip has like the special like they've been specially prepped for like extra grip and everything like that. That's impressive, that 2.2. Like the fact that it's even possible, even in like idealized conditions, is terrifying. Like that is like electric vehicle acceleration. Just regular tarmac. Oh shit. Oh shit. That's scary. That is very scary. Holy moly. Jeez. Alright, I have to do that. Holy moly. 2.2 seconds. That is scary. At that stage with the prep surface, I'd be genuinely terrified that I'd end up breaking something in the drivetrain or something. Like, holy moly. Like, the amount of forces, those rear axles are undergoing under that launch, and the transmission and the differential and all of that are undergoing to get that acceleration is ridiculous, you know? Power and torque are limited in low gears. Probably to avoid it absolutely just snapping something. Holy moly. Probably because they realized that in the lower gears, like you at that point you're limited by traction and the durability of some of the components. Oh, I love my rotary. That sounds so good. The absolute scream of the exhaust. Oh my gosh. The blowout valve of the twin scroll turbo. Alright, take care, Bloodwolf. Have a great night, alright? Yeah, though I imagine that might be prohibitively expensive for GM to do with the Z01. At least at this stage. Still though, like, and that's factory too, you know, like I'm sure people will probably be able to make even more power out of that. Like, you know, beefing things up further, adjusting the CPU, going drag slicks. So we might eventually see like sub 2 seconds from a, you know, a heavily modified Corvette Z01. That would be, that's terrifying. That is literally, you blink, and you are breaking the law, or you are, you know, above highway speed. ECM isn't going to be touched. Really? Ah, rip. To be fair, if they crack the Z06, I'd imagine the Z01 isn't that far behind. But yeah, they gotta crack the Z06 first. Damn, it's a shame though. Here's the thing though, nothing is completely uncrackable. Nothing is uncrackable. It just takes enough time and resources and will, and people got the will and the resources. So, yeah. Soon, probably. Hopefully soon. Oh, there we go. To the right. Back to the left. Come on, come on. There we go, across the line. I'm assuming got those same people to make this again. It's an arms race, essentially. Those that are looking to break things and those that are looking to secure things. That is cybersecurity. Just a bunch of nerds in thigh-high socks trying to fight against each other. Yeah, the downside is essentially being able to see what the OEM at UCU does and being able to make sure that's even better than the OEM at UCU. Got time for one more race. Got time for one more race. One more race. Yeah. Oh, that'd be crazy. You're probably looking around like 850, maybe. If you're including the both ones as well. Alright, big push, big push. That is still crazy that, you know, these vehicles are making that much horsepower. Like, that is literally like hypercar power, you know, just 2 decades ago. Change and adapt some way you drive. Oh, that is cool. It's literally like learning from you. That is awesome, actually. I'd love to own a Corvette. They're kind of fun. Give me some white New Balances, some jean shorts. Get a placard that says that this is the only Corvette made on a Tuesday in royal blue with this engine and transmission combination by a guy named Phil. It's a one of a kind, sonny. Yeah, nice. My daily driver see it to be the really going electric. Interesting choice. Okay, why is that? Ah, right. You live where it gets very snowy. That actually makes sense then. What do you say was also used in a troll channel? What, the Corvette thing? Oh, it's a notable stereotype amongst boomer Corvette owners. Everyone wants to have one of a kind of anything, so they'll try to get the overly narrow superlative to basically make the Corvette more valuable than it actually is. Don't get me wrong, it's still cool. But, yeah. I'd probably go Z06 over the Z01. Z01 probably makes a little bit too much power. I'd be terrified I'd end up like, you know, pulling a Richard Hammond and nearly dying in a fiery crash. If I went ham in a Z01. Then I much prefer driving naturally aspirated performance vehicles on tracks, even if they're a bit slower. Is it really softer? That's weird. That is so weird. So I remember when the C601 came out, And the journalists were reviewing that, and they said that that one was so much more aggressive to the point where it was genuinely kind of uncomfortable for like daily driving and everything compared to other previous vets of that generation. So that is interesting. That the Z01 is actually more comfortable than the lower performance trims. Beep. Ah, that makes sense then. Okay. Give it a little bit more mechanical grip at the expense of response. Especially because you can make it so much on the straights. Yeah, the 1,000 horsepower. That is terrifying. That is genuinely terrifying. Yeah, you want it to be easier to drive so people can then push more and really get the most out of it. Ah, makes sense then. That way, you know, you can kind of gauge how, you know, more non-experienced people handle that much power. Does make me wonder though how hard they were pushing it on track as well. Like how on edge were they really pushing it? Or was the big power just kind of making it seem like they were going, you know, pushing harder than they really were? I say you cut the course. You have to slow down and give it the time gained. Alright, not much further, not much further. One more corner. On to the final straight. There we go. Very nice, very nice. Ah. Alright. Very nice. Yeah, the downforce probably helps it as well. There we go. Our Infinity 3 RX-7 is now complete. Yeah, I know our rankings decreased just a little bit, but that's alright. Ooh. I know what our next car is going to be. We get to have the lovely Corvette. Yes, the 71 Corvette Stingray. It's just at 176 mile/hour runs in the back straight. That's scary. That's scary. Ooh. Wasan blue. Bridgehampton blue. Millimiglia red. Ontario orange. War bonnet yellow looks kind of ugly. Sunflower yellow looks nice. Brands Hatch green looks pretty nice as well. I know it's cliche. I'm gonna get it in Mosan blue. I'm gonna get it in Mosan blue. Hysteria purple. Unfortunately, we don't have that option. Oh, the new purple. Yes, the 01 in that purple. That'd be nice. I'm kind of still a sucker for like that burnt orange color. That is probably the nice one. Pop tart icing white. Alright, I'm gonna end the stream here though. My throat is starting to bother me just a little bit. So it's probably gonna be an earlier to bed night for me. Thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the stream, please make sure you leave a like, subscribe. Let me know what I'm doing well in the comments down below. If you didn't like the stream, please let me know what I'm doing poorly so I can fix that in the future. With that being said, I've been Isaac Umbras, and wherever you're in the world, whatever time of day it is for you, may it be a great night. And I'll see you all in the next stream. Until then, take care everybody. Bye bye!